Actually, it was not a planned one. I was invited, it's in St. Louis birthday last week. And Dr. Nima, since I have come over this side, she invited me to give a talk to the students in Jerome's college. Though first I was hesitant to accept it because of my health reasons. Then, okay, since I had already visited this college and I couldn't say no to her, so I accepted it. And I'm happy to be here. And the title of today's seminar, especially my talk, I have given the title as Subaltern Literature, Resistance and Reconstruction. When I saw the invitation, I was happy to see that it is written as Resilience and Reconstruction, which is very, very apt, and I'm happy about it. So, this is to begin my thoughts of my talk to share with you. Let me begin with the definition of literature. We may not define literature as it is, because it is like any other vital, profound and deep realities of life. Define definitions and we can never come up with a satisfactory, comprehensive definition of literature. So instead of defining it, maybe I can share a story with you attributed to American writer William J. Long that conveys the beauty, charm and allurement that literature exercises over us. The story goes like this. A child and a man were walking one day on the seashore, and the child found a little seashell and held to his ear. Suddenly he heard sounds, strange, low, melodious sounds, as if the shell were remembering and repeating to itself the murmurs of its ocean home. The child's face filled with wonder as he listened with delight to its mystery and music. Then came a man who explained that the child had heard nothing strange, and that the lovely curves of the shell simply caught a multitude of sounds which are too faint for human ears. What the child heard was the murmur of the innumerable echoes of these sounds. This is exactly what literature does for us. It unveils before us a new world. It opens our ears to listen to new sounds and voices not heard before, and it sows new longings in our hearts. When this new world, voices and longings are the embodiments of values and meanings that enrich, ennoble, and humanizes us, we call it a great literature that stands the test of the time. Okay, I like this story and the definition of more or less. So, because I have experienced that, after reading the story, I normally share this with the other students, which is very, very important. Now, coming to subaltern literature, let me spend a few minutes as who is the subaltern. Before going to the subaltern literature, let me talk about who is a subaltern. What does subaltern mean? According to Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, it refers to an officer in the British Army who is lower in rank than a captain. So the word means inferior in rank, secondary importance. Moreover, sub means below or less. And origin also has a Latin origin from a word meaning other. Hence, subaltern is the other who is below the par and less than the normal. Subaltern then is any person or group of persons considered inferior. It stands for any group of persons who are marginalized, oppressed, and exploited on cultural, social, political, and religious grounds. In India, Dalits, women, tribals, transgenders, and minorities belong to this category of subaltern. They are marginalized, oppressed, and exploited because they are considered and treated as less than human or subhuman. There is a brutal force behind this marginalization, exploitation, and oppression, which is supported by the dominant ideology of the ruling class. Here, we must make it clear that a person or groups who are considered to be inferior are not inferior. They are inferiorized. I want to repeat it. They are not inferior, they are inferiorized. Here I remember one short poem. I don't remember the author of the poem. It goes like this. Application. In Tamil we call that as Vinnapam or Padivam. There we see the name, date of birth, nationality, and parents' name, religion, age, all these things one after the other you have to fill. The last one, the poet wrote like this. Taழ்த்தப்பட்டவரா? If so, by whom, when, where, or what? This is a very short poem which speaks a lot. And these subaltern people are deep, judged, and condemned to be inferior by the ruling brutal force and its ideology. Since they are considered inferior, they are robbed of their subjectivity, selfhood, and agency. They are made objects, victims who are condemned to a life of inequality, unfreedom, servility, and segregation. Now I see the perfect image of this subaltern in Leo Tolstoy's story of the serf who is condemned to carry his master on his shoulders. The serf is made to lose his humanity and become a beast on whom the master rides. Now, the question is, with what consciousness does he carry his master? He may do it with a false and servile consciousness that he is fatal, or even privileged to become a beast of burden for his master. Or he may develop a critical consciousness and think of ways of throwing off, ridding this human burden. You can say inhuman burden. The moment he rebels, the moment he realizes that the one sitting on his shoulders has no right to do so, he recovers his humanity, subjectivity, selfhood, and new consciousness of a free being. the subaltern speaks, he is no more silent. Subaltern literature reveals his voice. So when we talk about literature, we remember two eminent writers. One is the French who is the originator of subaltern historical studies, and the other one, the Irish Spivak, who looked at feminism from a subaltern perspective. Here, in our country, India, after the independence, three dominant trends have emerged in the Tamil literary world. They are the popular literature, the artistic literature, the people's literature, or the liberating literature. And the third kind of modern Tamil literature, which is the people literature, or liberation literature, slowly emerged through various leftist political and cultural movements in Tamil Nadu. Subaltern literature has a definite liberating purpose. Here, literary activity is a part and parcel of the struggle of liberation. Literary activity is a part and parcel of struggle of liberation. The black literature, the feminist literature, the communist, socialist literature are a few kinds of this liberation literature. Each type of literature has its own version of liberation. The form, the content, the genre of each kind vary in accordance with the specific form of oppression and struggle, but they have certain common features. Maybe I can list out a few features of this literature. They reject the dominant mode of literary discourse. They develop their own tools of analysis. They protest against the oppressors without compromises. They try to build a new relationship of either sisterhood or comradeship, of community identity. They castigate their oppressors vehemently. They share their subalternity without inhibition and shame. They try to build an alternate culture through protest and revolt, through inversions, through dismantling the existing hierarchy by mocking and ridiculing. Maybe I can give you some examples of some of my writings later. Their voice is highly expressive. They serve as an ideological weapon for the subalterns in their struggle against the oppressors. In short, subaltern literature has a dual role to play. The first one is it has to undo the dominant culture, and second, it has to build an alternative culture through protest and revolt. That's why I must resist and reconstruct. Reconstruct and reconstruct, resilience and reconstruction. In this sense, subaltern culture should proclaim itself as a revolt culture, and what is prescribed for them by their oppressors should be clearly transgressed. There is no transformation without transgression. So now, these are some characteristics of subaltern literature. And another thing what I would like to say is about the language. But before language, I can give you some examples for this. Now, if I take my short story, Annachi, then you can see all these elements of subaltern literature. The person the guy who goes to work in a landlord's field is well dressed and goes outside, but the landlord doesn't like him wearing a neat, clean iron shirt. So he tries to find fault with this man, asking him that he is late and what is the time you are coming now? Already he is late. What is the time? Like that he shouts at him. And this man answers him in a very subtle and satirical way, saying, see, Annachi, you know, my brother, I don't have a watch, brother. Only you have the watch, brother, so you can see the time, brother. I will collect money and buy a watch, brother, then I will tell you the time. Brother is even on. And that irritated that landlord. So he went and complained in the village panchayat, and they had a meeting. Then the headman questions him, why did you want Manachi? He is an upper caste man and a landlord. And this fellow again very playful, because he is older to me, I call him Manachi. If he is younger to me, I would have called him Namdi. So everybody was thinking and laughing, and this headman was furious, and you are not supposed to call him Manachi. So they people close like that. Here what I try to say is, Subaltern people, the people who are oppressed and marginalized, he tries to build up a new relationship. He considers everybody as equal. So he calls me, addresses him as Anachi. There is a relationship, a creative relationship. Because in olden days it is like they are superhuman human beings and the Dalits are nowhere. But now, after this, all this literature and awareness and fighting to establish or to prove their humanness, people are struggling, and here he tries to do it. And when was asking this question, then he explains his stand. See, I have called him only as Annachi, that is brother. I did demand from him to give his daughter as to me in marriage. I didn't ask that. So again he is going another step or marital. So this is maybe outwardly it can be like how can we maybe in many of us this question may arise. How can an adult ask like that, all those things? But he is longing and he is trying to create a relationship with that fellow, establishing equality, trying to respect one another as human persons. But even calling him a person, a fellow human being as brother, is an offense. So there we have to think about that. So what does it mean? There is a clear-cut gap. No, I am not your brother and you are not my brother. You are the subaltern and interiorized person. This is not your place. So this is the thing. So this kind of, even this really happened. It is not an imaginary story. So when you resist, there is a possibility of revolting, protesting, but you can create a new world. You can create a new relationship. So this inspires many young people like him, and then this resilience, not okay, because I have been a nice, okay, I will never call you, no, not like that. It inspires many more young minds, and they get this awareness, and they try to build up a human world, a human relationship. So for this, he has to bring up about a chaos to the hierarchy relationship. See, master servant. So you are going to change that. They should bring about a chaos to the hierarchy relationship between the dominant and the dominator, which are encoded through verbal and non-verbal, special and gestural cultural signals. For each thing you can give a lot of examples in your day-to-day life. Verbally, non-verbally, gesturally, and culturally, a lot of symbols, lot of practices, lot of beliefs saying that treating another person without dignity is okay. That kind of understanding and ideology is still prevailing in our society. The dominant culture is always trying to impose their existing cultural codes in the name of maintaining order of the society. So in olden days, the wearing of clean shirt is against this culture. Is supposed to have appear as a ugly man, a dirty man. And same way different in the days around carrying a towel on the shoulder, this disrespectful act to the landowner. Immediately he should take that and hide it in his knees, wearing chapel, wearing his ankle. And only with this of the past is today, in many images you see that in a different forms, in different ways. In Karma also, you will see that. And a landlord asked another farmer who is working under him to buy some vadais or something from the restaurant. So he bought a vadai, but since he was married, he should not touch that vadai. So he must have landed leaf and wrapped in a newspaper and tied it in a thread, and he's holding that parcel, carrying the thread of the parcel. Because if he touches that, he will get pollution. So when he was carrying that, I was a small child then. After schooling, I was walking my house. I saw this. And I couldn't believe this. So we girls joined together and looking at that old man, we laughed. See, like a small child is carrying his parcel and he's damming the animal. And we laughed and came. And my brother was at home and I shared this with him. That old Tata is doing like this, holding the parcel like this, and he's shaking here and there and going. And I saw that old man like that bowed down and handed over the parcel to the landlord, and he opened the lid. And my brother did laugh. He told me, see, it is not a laughing matter. See, that old man is a light man, he is not supposed to touch that parcel. If he touches that, it gets polluted. That's why he carried that parcel with a thread. That made me angry. Why should he not be able to touch that? See, that at least if he touches the vadai, you can imagine, okay, some third he's a working man and without washing or something, some reasons he can apply. But this wrapped in a planking leaf and on board the newspaper, but he should not touch it. That then made me angry. Then I asked him why not. Then I thought, if I were in that place, I would touch the vadai. That kind of anger was with me when I was driving. So because it is not fair. And that landlord was a very young man. He is a very, very old man. More than his grandfather's age. I was so angry and I asked him, brother, but why should we go and buy that vadai? That was my question. But he can't say no because he is working with me. So the word amusements and calling with respect, that also whatever the other people, as Subaltern people, they consider as guilt, as not correct. And when you think of the deep layers of consciousness, as I explained here, when we shared with my brother, what he does was unmasking the old. I couldn't see. The first sight I didn't understand. But when my brother said, it was open to me. Oh, this is wrong. Because of this, he is doing this. And so, what happened to me is a change from my victimhood to militanthood. No, we are not supposed to do this. This militant in the sense not fighting weapons But to capture Valley itself is an act of resistance. So in small little way, there comes the awareness and the tendency to resist against this system, which dehumanizes human persons. Then, when you pass through these different layers of consciousness, then there is a possibility of creating a new society. That's how, from that area, that society where I come from, and I have faced a lot of this kind of discriminations, humiliations, pain, and then creativity, freedom, then as you say, reliance upon it. So, in a conscious level, we have to check and think our beliefs, our value systems, education. Education doesn't help to emancipate people, to give some social awareness, but sometimes education all the more recognizes this as it is a natural phenomenon. To treat one another as inferior, or man as superior, women are inferior, this class people, that class people, this religious, that religious, this language, that language. So many factors. It really spoils our thinking process, our ideology, our values. And we don't even consider that we need to evaluate or to resist, to revoke or revolt and create a new society. Because we are well contented with what is given to us, satisfied. As long as our life is okay, then everything is okay. If something goes wrong or something is not correct, if somebody is dehumanized, it doesn't bother us. Because we are only living for us. We are created here to live for others, not only for us. So now I come to the other thing, the language of subaltern literature. It is of paramount importance in subaltern literature, the language. The language should really give a violent disturbance to the seemingly natural posture and superficial orderliness of the status quo. See, my writing, most of the writings I write in people's language, in people's dialect. And when I wrote Kalku, it was not a deliberate act, but it just came to me like that. Because my root is there, I wrote that first novel in people's language, which was criticized by many. They didn't agree with that. And so-called mainstream writers in Tamil, they wrote a lot of negative criticisms, and a few wrote positively because it has truth in it, and the vocabulary and the proverbs, and there is richness in that of people's culture and their views. You can get from that language. But after getting all this criticism, then I became more stubborn, and that is my nature also. If you say so, then I write in that language only. So I continue writing in that language, and I will be successful. Because everything from the subaltern people or oppressed people, marginalized people, is not good. That is a common understanding. So the language also they could accept first, but now most people write this language, and it is celebrated also. And this road is the standard language, which we think and imagine as pure, classical, divine, and cultured academic languages. Again, we say this will go against the standard language which we think as pure, classical, divine, and cultured academic languages. So we need all these adjectives to these languages because we want to show the other, the subaltern, as impure, not good. Subaltern people have a different vocabulary in speech. that you can see in all my novels and short stories. Anna and I have written almost 60 short stories because I have written in classical Tamil also, and most of them I have written in English language. I think rebellion against and resistance to the existing oppressive order is the only way protecting and changing the humanity of the oppressed and also the oppressors. By resisting and rebelling, I stand on the existing unjust society on its head. My rebellion is often considered unnatural and unreasonable, and it shocks the master knowing, and he often retaliates against my rebellion with cruel physical violence that you can see in the daily newspapers what is happening here. And today, using human shit in the water and drinking water tank and doing love marriages between two us and murdering and crying out for so many things. When you open the newspaper, every day you can see that. My personal act of rebellion begins to make political ripples in the indoctrinated consciousness of the oppressed and in the objective oppressive order. Thus, it is personal act of rebellion that politics begins for the subaltern. Personal act of rebellion that politics begins for the subaltern. These personal responses to individual and structural violence show that people are not always passive, unreflective, uncritical, not neatly reconciled to their fate. Here we will talk about culture, culture, which is another topic, which enables them to keep their spirit alive and active, which helps them to come up in their life in spite of the atrocities and violence they meet in their day-to-day life. Their culture is so beautiful, so human, lively, and it energizes them, and it inspires them, that enables them to break through the system which kills them. I have chronicled their acts of resistance in my stories. These personal and individual acts of resistance cannot bring about structural changes, but they do indicate the stirrings of the spirit wanting to assert one's rights and dignity. True liberation then means the unmaking of the old order and creating a new order in which everyone matters and no one is an expendable commodity. So, the Subaltern literature chronicles and celebrates the passage from victimhood to militancy, to new creativity, from negation of selfhood, subjectivity, and agency to the affirmation of selfhood, subjectivity, and of cultural and political autonomy. Needless to say that this passage from false consciousness to critical consciousness that opens up for them the possibility of a life of equality, fraternity, and liberty, which is fraught with conflicts and contradictions, and is the result of continuous struggles in their ups and downs in the day. So Subaltern literature that does not repeat history lightly, but it struggles to create a new history where we can hold our heads high and walk hand in hand in freedom. As you are given in your education, we all can become falcon flying high in the sky. If you really, if you really respect another human being as human person with respect and dignity. Thank you for the opportunity.